Good afternoon, First Baptist Church. Pastor Mike here, and I'm just continuing a short series of what we're leading through or looking to lead through as our elders, church staff, other leaders meet over these weeks, looking forward to what God has for us in the future. And we're asking big questions like, what is the church? What is our mission? What are we to be about? And foundationally below all that is our identity and the identity of God Himself and who He is in our midst. And so last week we looked at John chapter 15, that Jesus is the vine and we are the branches and we're connected to Him and our life comes from Him and He wants to bear fruit through us. And so as we abide in Him, as we stay connected to Him, as we pursue Him in relationship and prayer and His Word, He prunes things away from us, things that aren't essential, things that maybe we take to be very important but aren't as important for our identity or what He has us to do. And so John 15, we're connected to Christ. He's pruning us in order that He can bear fruit. Today I want to look at a few verses out of Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 to 20. And this is the story you may remember where Jesus is with His disciples and He asks them what people are saying about Him, who they are saying He is. And then He point blank asks His disciples, "Who do you say I am?" And Peter speaks up and answers, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And then Jesus praises God and says, "You know what, Simon? Peter, nobody showed this to you. You didn't figure it out on your own. You're not smart enough to get this. God the Father Himself has revealed this truth to you." And this truth is the foundational truth of the church, that Jesus is the Christ, that He is our King, and that truth does not change. And so during this time when so many things are uncertain, I want to call us back to that truth, that our King will never change. The head of the church will always be the head of the church. And then here's what the head of the church, the King, Jesus, goes on to say to His disciples. He says, "I tell you," in verse 18, "you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." The Greek word for hell there is Hades. So the gates of Hades or hell will not prevail against the church. And Hades was this kind of underworld place, the grave, the place where dead people go. You could think of it as the cemetery, the graveyard. And it was a place where you go and that was it. That was kind of the end for you. And what Jesus is saying is that because of His kingship, because of His resurrection power, even the grave, even hell, even Hades, death itself will not overcome the church, will not be able to stand against the church. And that is a promise that we have. Brothers and sisters, this is a truth and reality. Jesus is our King, and He will build His church. We won't build His church. It's not the job of the pastor to build Jesus' church. It's not the job of the sheep to build Jesus' church, or the elders, or the staff, or anyone else. It's Jesus' job. He will build His church. He's promised to do it, and nothing can stand against the true church. I'm reminded of an illustration I heard last week from Francis Chan, and he said, the church is kind of like a diamond. If you have a diamond and a hammer, and yet you hit that diamond with a hammer, what's going to happen to the diamond? Well, if it's a real diamond, nothing's going to happen to it, not even a scratch. And that's the picture here we have of Jesus' promise. If His church is real, if it's true, if it's the pure and real church, nothing can destroy it. Nothing, no virus, no plague, no government, no conspiracy, no army, no satanic power, nothing can overcome His church. He will build it, and it will last forever. So today, brothers and sisters, I want you to just rest in that truth, that Jesus is the King. He will build His church, and nothing will stand against it. And that is a truth that we can bank on as we move forward into the future. I hope you have a great day today. We love you, and we'll see you later.